Welcome to my 17th place Pokemon Philadelphia Regionals Tournament Report. So before I get into this, I need to really thank my boyfriend J.R. Madison, who convinced me to go to this tournament. I was in a really bad mood the week or so leading up to the tournament. I didn't have my beaches. I had loaned them out and they hadn't been returned. I was frustrated with the format, hearing about all the bad experiences people were having with the time limit and ties. And I really just, I was getting kind of sick of the negative changes that are happening in the game, and then the cost of actually going up to Philadelphia was kind of weighing on me. It just moved, so, finances aren't exactly as nice as they were 6 months ago, and I really just was not feeling this tournament. He really wanted to go, kind of convinced me to go. Was running my favorite deck, Blastoise, really the only deck that I felt comfortable with in this format. My favorite deck being Blastoise is one of my favorite Pokemon, and he just kind of pushed me to go, assured me that, I'd have a good time, and thanks to him, as well as everyone that we rode up with, the Burrises, Kyle, Raul, and then the people that we stayed with, Spencer and Eric, and just everyone I saw at the tournament really made it overall a great experience, and for something that I really didn't even want to go to in the first place, I'm glad I went, and obviously it worked out well for me with 17th. This list is mostly my boyfriend's, honestly. It's something that I started off with. He helped me tweak it at Nationals, tweaked it further since Nationals, and then I did a few last-minute tweaks just to make myself happy, and this is what it is. But he did a lot of the playtesting and helped me with a lot of my matchups just because I didn't have nearly the time to playtest as I would have liked. So I'm going to start off first by showing the list because that's what everyone really wants to see. It's fairly standard. 4 Squirtle with the bench guard, 3 Deluge Blastoise to attach all those waters, 3 Russian Keldeo, 2 Black Ballista Kyurem to be one-shotting everything, and then this is my little tech that I absolutely loved, and it won me a few games. Suicune Safeguard prevents any damage, or all effects, including damage, done by EXs. So if I got a really bad start and just needed to wall with this guy for a little while just to save myself that extra turn to try and get set up, it was really clutch, and it helped me out in so many games. I rarely, even the games, there are a couple I think that I started with it, I really didn't regret starting with it just because it still helped me get set up. My supporter line for Skyla, you want to make sure you get those beaches out, and then later in the game, you really want to have those Skylas to be able to get your retrievals out of the deck, your catchers, whatever you need to take those last few prizes. For Juniper, I only run 3N, simply because I'm typically, if Blastoise sets up and takes off like it should, I'm using N more at the beginning to just kind of refresh my hand, then late game to disrupt my opponent. In fact, I often found out I was throwing out a lot of N just because I didn't want to end myself down to 2. 1 Colress, simply because it took the place of that 4th N, and I typically have a pretty big bench, so I could typically pull a lot of cards off of it. 3 Beach, really don't care what people say about Pokemon Center. A solid Blastoise list needs to run Beach. It takes off so fast that your opponent's going to be ending you a lot. You need to have that out. I found that I ran into a lot of matches, I think 4 games maybe, with Frozen City, and you really needed this Beach to get out of that. And Pokemon Center just... yeah, the little bit of healing just is not worth it for that nice hand draw, and that really was essential for getting that turn 2 Blastoise. For retrieval, because most of your games you're just going to be using Black Ballista over and over and over again, you need those to get them back. 4 Rare Candy to ensure that turn 1 Blastoise. 3 Ultra Ball, again for the Blastoise mostly. 3 Catcher, I wish I had the space to run 4. I didn't, so had to go down to 3, but typically with Kyurem, you're one-shotting everything anyways, so the 4th wasn't always needed. 2 Tool Scrapper. That is mainly for my Garbodor matchups. I didn't run into a single Garbodor, so if I had known that going in, these spots definitely would have been used for like an extra catcher, an extra float stone, you know, something else most likely. Maybe keep one scrapper in, but it's definitely to help out my Garbodor matchups. And I found in playtesting I usually won maybe 70-80% of the time with those double scrappers. As long as I timed my energy placements right, I pretty much had it. One level ball to help search out those Squirtles, you know, Skyla turn 1 Squirtle. Heavy ball to get out those Blastoise, and occasionally Black Kyurem. And my A-Spec was Computer Search. Now, this is the one that I argue with myself over and over and over before the tournament. I really love Dowsing Machine and Blastoise. Computer Search typically helps out more with the getting that turn 1 Blastoise up. However, I don't think there was a single game where Computer Search helped me do that. I typically used it to search out something else later on in the game, but Dowsing Machine would have helped me out just as much, and it would have let me, you know, reuse resources that I no longer had access to, you know, like that 4th catcher, the 5th retrieval, you know, the heavy ball to get out the Blastoise, honestly. Candies, I could have been a little more loose with my discarding in the beginning of the game if I had Dowsing Machine. So that's kind of my big swap out for this deck, and that's just my personal playstyles always preferred Dowsing in Blastoise. One float stone. So I really loved attaching this to a Keldeo to rush and retreat and not having to give up any of my energy for that retreat cost and being able to get back into my Black Kyurems, not having to worry about my Blastoise being stalled up there. This was great. And my energy line, 2 lightning for those Black Ballistas, and 10 waters for everything else. So, now the rest of this video, prepare for a long one, is going to be my matchups. So I'm not going to be showing anything else in the video, so you can just kind of wander away and just listen if you'd like to hear. So, Philadelphia Regionals was huge. We had 343 Masters, which meant we had 9 rounds of Swiss on day 1, and then top 32 would go on to an additional 5 rounds of Swiss on day 2 before they cut to a top 8. So that's right, 14 rounds of Swiss. They're 50 minutes long, best of 3. You can have ties. It was a very, very stressful day. So, game 1, I played Plasma with Frozen City. Again, Frozen City really hurts my energy attachments, but I planned it out to where I wasn't attaching energy until I could get that counter stadium up to knock out the Frozen City. He dead drew quite a bit, and I won the first 2 games and moved on. Game 2, I hit a Garchomp, and maybe I just got cocky. I saw Garchomp and I'm like, oh, this is easy. Turns out I couldn't set up my Blastoise. So I just ran into some terrible dead draws. He easily took game 1. Thing with Garchomp is that it takes a long time to win those games simply because there are no EXs. You have to take 6 prizes. So I win game 2, but we don't have much time for game 3. We're not able to finish it, and it goes to time. So we end up tying on that one. I'm sorry about my voice. I'm kind of getting over a little bit of a head cold, so I'm a bit congested. And as we're talking after our matchup, he says that he chose to run Garchomp mostly because it takes so long to in a best of 3 situation to actually win, because you have to take so many prizes, that he figured he wouldn't be losing many games, and if he couldn't win, he would at least be able to tie. There's another reason I don't agree with the format right now, because, you know, running a deck simply because, you know, you likely not going to lose instead tie, I don't think is really healthy for the game. But it is what it is. We end up tying, and on to game 3. So I hit a mirror match with another Blastoise, and honestly, I think both games, I think I got like a turn 4, maybe even a turn 5 Blastoise, and he was able to take an early lead. But then I was able to set up that Kyurem, target his Kyurems, and just Black Ballista him 3 times for game. Was able to win the first 2 games, didn't need to go on to a third. So I was pretty happy with that one, actually, just because with the mirror match, and when you get your usually it's whoever gets their Blastoise set up first wins. That I got my Blastoise set up late both games and was still able to come back and get it. Suicune being a huge tech there because he had to load up a Blastoise to take it out. It really made me feel confident about my matchups. On the, let's see, fourth game, I play a speed Darkrai that really just drew dead, and I'll be honest, I ran hot. I got that Blastoise set up probably turn 2 both games, got the Black Ballistas, and that was it. So 2-0'd him, no need for a game 3. Game 5, another speed Darkrai. How'd this one go? I think, yeah, I won this one too. Sorry, I wrote down the record wrong. So I get a late Blastoise in game 1, and I think I lost that one. He gets a slow start on game 2. Oh no, I'm sorry. No, this was a tie. I remember this game now. So yeah, I get a late Blastoise turn 1 or game 1, and he wins. He gets a slow start on game 2. I win. Game 3 goes to time, and I would have won if it wasn't for time. I had the Suicune to stall until I could get my Black Ballista up to get the catcher for the game. I just did not have enough time to take those last prizes, and I ended up having to wall with Suicune in order to force the tie. Yeah, so there's my second tie, and I'm not feeling really good. I haven't lost yet, but those ties really don't help you. In the long run, they're actually hurting you. So I go on to game 6, and I know I need to win out. I've already missed happy hour at the embassy at this point, and so, you know, if I don't win it and make it to the next day, I'm going to be really bummed that night. So game 6 is another speed Darkrai, my third speed Darkrai in a row. And honestly, this guy was not the nicest fellow. I beat him the first 2 games, and that second game even went to time. So it's not like I really ran hot during the matchups or anything like that, but he was insisting that I was getting lucky, top decking, running hot. When Blastoise runs hot, it takes the game in 10 minutes, maybe 15, and you're done. It certainly doesn't run 2 games to 50 minutes, and keeping the prize count pretty close. Now, he did dead draw some, but still, you know, it was, I was getting a little frustrated with him. I even let him take back 2 misplays in the first game. I knew I had them won, and was just trying to make him hopefully get into a better mood. He was throwing down his cards, you know, getting really just angry and frustrated, I guess, over a combination of his dead draws and my supposed luckiness. But, yeah, it was really frustrating, and honestly, he even threatened to flip the table at one point. I was pretty happy in the end when I beat him. In fact, my boyfriend played him at a league challenge the next day and beat him again. So, you know, good sportsmanship. I've had some negative experiences lately with the Pokemon community, and that's a little touch of one of them. Just, you know, lose graciously. You know, just there's no reason to get an attitude. So my next game, on the bubble, was streaming games all day, and the guy running it, Harrison, came up to me and asked if I would like to be on stream. So I'm completely stoked. I don't know if the videos are on YouTube. They're on Twitch, and if you're Facebook friends with me, I shared my video. So it ended up being a Blastoise mirror match. So you can watch all of that if you like, if you can find the video. It ended up being, I think, he swept game 1. I think he got the turn 2 Blastoise, got the Black Ballista up turn 2 as well. He drew 2 prizes off, or 2 waters off his prizes, and then topped another water to keep the Black Ballistas up. And yeah, he just slaughtered me. Second game, yeah, I'd have to go back and watch the stream. I think we both get the turn 2 Blastoise up, but I'm able to take an earlier lead with the Kyurem, and I end up winning that one. Game 3, we both start off our techs. He starts off Jirachi, and I start off Suicune. Suicune works perfectly fine for me, much better compared to his Jirachi, and he just completely dead draws all game. I think he got a Blastoise up, but he couldn't get anything else up, and I'm able to just sweep it and win. So, hated that the last game wasn't really exciting, but, you know, a win's a win, and he's a really cool guy. So, on to game 8, and we're getting like at 10 o'clock now, and I'm getting absolutely exhausted. I'm hungry, I'm getting grumpy. You know, most of my friends have either, you know, dropped from the tournament or they're well out. And so, yeah. And then there's the extra pressure, you know, they're watching my games and stuff like that too. So I face up against a Plasma with Frozen City and Lugia. He just demolishes me game 1. He takes 2 knockouts with Lugia. Lugia lets you take the extra prize. He takes 3 prizes in each turn, and that's it. Second game, I'm struggling to get out of Blastoise. It looks like I'm about to be slaughtered again. My boyfriend even comes up to me and I say, just give me 10 minutes and I'll be done. One more loss and I have no chance of making it to the second day, so I might as well just drop. And somehow, I don't know where, out of nowhere, I get the Blastoise up, I get the Black Ballistic Serum up, I am able to target that Lugia sitting on the bench ready to go, knock it out. He puts up another Lugia, is powering it up, he's ready to go for most likely the next turn with one energy attachment. I capture it up again, knock it out, and yeah, I pretty much just kept on targeting the Lugias once they hit the field and was able to get it. So at least we make it to a game 3. I'm thinking he still has the advantage. His deck is just way too fast compared to mine. And I'm still not quite sure how I came back in the third game either. I feel like I got another slow Blastoise out, not turn 2, but again, when I did get it out, was able to get the Kyurem out, was able to target the Lugias, and I was able to win it. And in Swiss, I think I was actually that guy's only loss. So I was pretty happy. He's a big name and really cool guy. On to round 9. So this is the last game of the day. I'm at 20 points. I need 21 to clinch it to make it to the next day. And I'm talking to my opponent and he's already in, and we decide to ID, which is a decision I later on regretted, although I don't think it really would have made a difference. But what an ID is an intentional draw. So we both pretty much decide, instead of playing out the game, to take, that extra hour to go get food and sleep and, prep for the next day. And what we do is we take the tie. So he gets a point, I get a point. That 1 point clinches my I get to go on to the next day, essentially. He gets to go on to the next day, and we both get a little extra time to sleep and eat. Looking back on it, I really wish I had played it out, because if I had won, I would have had a couple extra points, which would have put me in a better position for top 8 the next day. It would have changed up my matchups for the next day, which would have made my day 2 a much better experience, which I'm about to get into now. So, the next day, we come back for the next 5 rounds of Swiss. So, game 10, I'm playing Genesect Virizion. I run insanely hot, I sweep him the first game, I draw dead on the second game, and he gets me in like all of 5 turns, I think. Game 3, I'm running really hot again, just demolishing him, and at some point he stops me and he says, I thought you junipered a Juniper away. And I said, I don't think I did. And I looked in my discard pile, I'm like, no, I didn't. And I go back through my previous turn, because I did discard a lot of things, but I had never discarded a Juniper. And he kind of says, oh, okay, and lets it go. And I even said something about, well, do you want to call a judge over? I know I didn't Juniper a Juniper away, but, we can call a judge and get this worked out. And he says, no, that's fine. And we go on and I win the game. Find out after that he drops from the tournament, which was incredibly stupid, because you're guaranteed prizes in top 32. So by dropping, he gave up everything, points, prizes, everything. And accused me of cheating, not to my face, but to my back, just started running around spreading rumors that I had cheated and had palmed a Juniper. I had to find out later what palming actually meant, because I had no idea what it was or how to do it. I'm still not sure how to do it. And then I come to find out later on that this guy tends to, he especially with girls. He's done this with another girl who was a senior, that he was playing at just like a regionals pod, accused her of cheating when it was clear that she was winning. So this guy just seems to have a problem with people losing or people beating him, and especially when a girl beats him. So he gets all pissy and then accuses him of cheating and tries to, mess him up that way. So I was pretty pissed. I go on to my next game, which is game number 11. I'm facing Plasma with Frozen City, and this is I guess John Bristow, big name, amazing player, really nice guy, and he just slaughters me. I couldn't seem to get out the energy and the beach to counter the Frozen City at the same time. And I actually lost both games just by killing myself, simply because I knew I was not going to win. He had the game next turn, he showed me the cards, and so I ended up just attaching via Frozen City and knocking myself out just for fun. But really cool guy, and yeah, really amazing player, and just I was outplayed, definitely. And I did draw dead quite a bit. I wish I could have made them more exciting matches, but and maybe it was just because I was flustered from being accused of cheating by the guy in my previous round. Who knows? We'll never know now. And this is where my regrets with the ID come in, because if I had an ID'd, if I had won, the matchups might have been different. So, oh well. On the game, was it 12 now? So I'm actually with the second round of Swiss, the computer system resets. So I actually ended up playing the same Plasma Lugia that I played in Swiss the day before, the one that I won and came back from nothing. Unfortunately, this one didn't go quite my way. I think I won game 1, he won game 2, and game 3 came really close, but I feel like he had the catcher for the game or something. Still, really close game, and I was a little more upset, not that I lost, but upset that I got paired up against the same guy. I feel like that shouldn't happen in Swiss rounds, and that's another issue with the new format that they really need to correct. I shouldn't have to play the same player in Swiss. In Top Cut, that's different, but not in Swiss. Either way, still a really cool guy, and he actually went on to top 8, so I'm really happy for him. And I don't know where he placed, but I hope he went on. I know he didn't win, but yeah, really cool guy and really solid deck. So on to game 13. It's my third Plasma Frozen City in a row. Again, the Frozen City is just hurting me. I'm dead drawing, and I win one, I lose one, and I ended up losing the third. He ended me 3 times in a row, and then pulled the catcher to win off of a top decking of a Juniper. So I know I don't have any shot at Top Cut at this point. I'm just playing to finish it out, but I'm still really happy I made it to day 2. And my last game of the day is against a Blastoise mirror match. So this is my third Blastoise mirror match, and we both get pretty good starts on both games, but I'm just able to get my my Kirums up a little faster, and I'm able to take it 2-0. So sorry for the really long video, but again, 14 rounds of Swiss takes a long time to comment on. I had a really great time, thanks to everyone again that made it such a fun weekend. I should be going to Virginia Regionals in January, might be hitting up a few cities, Legendary Treasures pre-release. I'm judging one this Sunday, so I'll have a little bit of an opening for you coming up early in the week. Trade binder updates coming up, so lots of good stuff. So definitely stay tuned. Oh, and I know this is at the end of the video, but shout out to the Token Minorities. Really cool group of guys that are getting up a new channel. They do openings, giveaways. They're doing some, and they do a lot of VGC stuff too. And they're doing this really cool battle series right now with like Ash and Brock and all them. So definitely check them out. They're doing a lot of good stuff, and should definitely subscribe and keep watching their videos. They give away code cards, so that's a reason in itself to subscribe. So thanks everyone for watching, and stay tuned for more videos.